What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. So what you guys are looking at is Jeff Jones's top 8 deck from the Metro ARG series in Detroit, Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. I know that he resides in Michigan, so he usually goes to all of those events. I saw this on Vexicus's channel, and I decided to go to the ARG page, check out some of the decks at top, because this is the first weekend. I wanted to see, what type of meta is pretty much going to be played on like the regional level. And I was pleasantly surprised. I'm seeing a lot of diversity. And Fire Fist was a deck where you guys saw I played against it. I played against a Yosenju player, and we were actually going back and forth through some of our matches. Like, if you look at this deck, it just has the ability to be very explosive. And with Spirit at 3 finally, I think the deck is going to be hella consistent, because there's so many ways that you can open in this deck, and you basically get to the Horse Prince combo, which usually you'll special summon Rooster out. Rooster will net you a Fire Fist card, and then you can launch one of your formations that you've already used to just set another formation card. So the pluses are there. Like, if you open, I believe you can open with Leo plus Tenki, or you can open with I think Leo plus Spirit, or Spirit plus Tenki. There's a whole bunch of different, I think, or it might be Spirit plus, no, Spirit plus Tenki works as well, because Leo obviously, or Tenki obviously searches Leo. There's so many different 2-card openings to basically get you to the play, and they're all at 3 now. So, and then obviously you have something like Rekindling. So let's go over the deck right quick, and then I'll try and do some quick synopsis as why I believe that he played some of the cards. So the Fire Formation 3 access engine, obviously 3 Spirit, 3 Leopard, and 2 Rooster. I actually should have put Rooster in front of Bear, because that is basically what makes it 3 access. Let's actually do that right now. All right, so yeah, there's your 3 access engine. These two basically just combo together. This dude is really good, because if you get max seed, like if somebody max sees you when you play Spirit, then you can just usually just activate his effect. You can search yourself out at Tenki so that you don't have to continue to special summon, and then I would imagine like you just try and play defense for a turn, maybe with Mirror Force, Solemn Warning, Bottomless Trap Hole, and you basically only give your opponent 1 card. Bear plus Gorilla is pretty much standard in this deck. You want other things to actually be able to summon outside of the level 3s. Not only does Bear just completely ignore, things like the Genlock, but it's just a really good card to swing into an open field. Like, if your opponent doesn't summon a monster, like if your opponent is playing Necros and they just leave an open field, maybe they Valked away their monsters, like Bear is pretty much the perfect card, because he's going to get you a +1 when he attacks, one way or another. Either they're going to burn a Valk on him, which is a +1 for you, or you're going to get a Fire Formation card, which is again a +1 for you as well. Usually you see the one of Gorilla. That's just like the problematic back row card. Actually, I don't even want to say that. It's just really a utility card. Like, sometimes if you're playing against like a deck like Necros, maybe you side this out. I would probably still keep it in, because roll decrees and whatnot. And then the last card I didn't explain in the level 3 engine, just Rooster. Rooster just launches your dead cards, like your Tensus that you've already used, or your Tenkis that you've already used, so that you can get new fresh ones. Then Wolf Bark. If you're running level 4s, you gotta run Wolf Bark. I wouldn't max out on Wolf Bark anymore. It's a really good card, but like so many times, your normal is going to be like either Spirits or Bear. So, I mean, that's going to be most of the time what you're going to want to summon. So I honestly wouldn't max out on Wolf. It's not a card that I would honestly want to draw. I would usually want to search it out, you know what I mean? And usually this deck, like, you're going to be activating Tenki so many damn times. You should have access to Wolf Bark pretty much whenever you want. It's also not a great card to open with, unlike a lot of the other monsters. 3 Goyoku, 3 Tenki, and 3 Tensu. These I think are staple. This is basically your MST. So Jeff Jones wasn't running MST. Goyoku is basically the same thing. It's kind of like Night Beam, except it gives your guys like 100 attack, and then if you happen to miss your target, or if like you Gorilla the target by launching like a Tenki at it, then obviously you can still launch this later in the game for like a Rooster or a Bear or a Gorilla next turn or something like that. So Tensu, obviously I was thinking about this. I was like, why did he run 3 Tensu? And it was just like, I imagine that against decks that don't commit a lot to the field, like the fact that he ran so much monster destruction in way of 2 Dark Hole and a Regeki. I'm guessing that he always wanted to be able to get to this Horse Prince combo, and he always wanted to be able to put big damage on the board. I'll explain more about that in a second. So obviously he ran 3 Upstart Goblin, just, you know, go through your deck faster. I don't really think you'd run duality in this deck because you run Wolf Bark, Rekindling, and Spirit, so you kind of need the ability to be able to special summon every turn. It's not like Sertellar Knights where you have Call It a Haunted and Oasis, so you can special summon during your opponent's turn. Like, this deck can't do that, so I would imagine that Upstart is just better than duality. Then again, the monster removal, not only does it out the Genlock, which this deck already does pretty easily, but it's like if you don't want to commit your normal summon to Bear, then you obviously just you can play this, and then you can just use your Spirit. And again, this deck does big damage. If you have the Horse Prince combo, you usually get Rooster, and then it's like you can search a Bear, and then if you play Tensu, you can summon that Bear. You get damage. You get 300 damage from the Tensu. The Bear will attack. He'll get another +1. It's just ridiculous. Book of Moon, I think, is like, honestly think Book of Moon is like a staple in this game right now. I really feel that way. Rekindling gets these guys back for even more Horse Prince shenanigans. And then the defensive cards, Fiendish Chain, Mind Crush. I told you guys, I really do feel like Mind Crush goes in everything now. I think at this same event, there was Cleaforts. All of them were like main decking 3 Mind Crush. I think Mind Crush is just, there's literally no reason not to run the card. It's just really that good. 2 Mirror Force, Bottomless Trap Hole, Silent Warning, and Vanity's Emptiness. And here's the cool thing about this deck. When you look at the extra deck, Vulcan the Divine, you can actually spin the Fiendish Chains in this deck. I wish that there was another way outside of Vulcan the Divine. Like, obviously there's no Trevor for this deck. I wish there was kind of like a Mist Valley Falcon or something like that. Just another consistent way to bounce your guys, because you can bounce your formations using like Cardinal, but I wish there was another way to bounce Fiendish Chain. Anyways, for the side deck, you have the 6 powerful hand traps. I'm actually maining this one right now in my Tellar Knights. I'm not playing anti-spell just because I feel like a lot of things are gonna special summon a crazy amount. 3 MSTs just in case he needs more back row hate. 3 Shadow Mirror, I would imagine, for Shadows and Burning Abyss, and then 3 Iron Walls, just bring more hate in against Necros. For the extra deck, you have Tiger King. It's pretty much the card you'll go into most of the time. But then Cardinal, I think Cardinal is actually like my favorite rank 4 just because it's so good. You get to spin your formations, your dead ones in your graveyard back to your deck, and then you get to like spin monsters on the field. So it's like kind of like Fire Fist Tiramisu, to be completely honest. And then it makes your like your bears and stuff live again because you never run out of like formation cards. Lion Emperor, really good card. Horse Prince, the main card that you'll make with Spirit. Vulcan, again, you can spin things like Fiendish Chain and Tensu and Goyoku so that you can reuse them. Well, not Tensu, but Goyoku, Fiendish Chain, Tenki. You can spin them back to your hand and then reuse them. You can't activate those spells that turn, but you can just reset a Fiendish Chain and use it later. The rest of this is pretty much standard as far as like rank 4s go. Diamond Dire Wolf, Abyss Dweller, Heartland Draco, Gaga Cowboy, Exoton Knight, Castel. He ran a Nightmare Shark and a Heartland Draco, I guess, in case he was playing against like Burning Abyss and his opponent had a bunch of monsters, but you know, they were low on life points. He has 2 ways to attack directly for 2,000. And considering he has the fire formation cards, you might not actually be able to attack this card. Like, that could be very relevant. And then the last card is just Fortune Tune. So I don't know, man. I'm looking at this deck and I'm thinking it seems really, really good. Like, I mean, I would imagine that if you're playing against Necrolls, all you kind of have to do is maybe side out like a Tensu and maybe like two Goyokus and bring in the Iron Walls, and you should have a pretty good matchup because of the Mind Crushers and the Fiendish Chains and the Vanities and stuff in the main deck. The deck can push out a whole bunch of damage. So let me know what you guys think. I think Fire Fists are definitely going to be a deck now. They're a deck that I thought were going to be a decent contender, at least like tier 2, able to top regionals, and I feel like I've been a little validated. So thank you guys for watching as always.